Right. Let's see how many people we can get in.
Hello, Gunmad.
Right, well, there's two people. There's Tommy and there's Astro. Perfect. I think they're expecting potentially one or two more. I'm not going to make you guys hang around too long, because this is well overdue. Right, so welcome to the feature. I'm hoping my shit don't crash this time. The reason why it's taking me so long, I quite simply just do not like any of you. I hate you all. No, I'm joking. I like you. Well, I say like you all. I specifically... Wrong button. I specifically hate these two. Right here. These two right here. I specifically despise them. No. So, let's get cracking. I'm going to chat whilst we get going, because, like I said, this is way too overdue. Nurburgring. So, we're going to carry on from the sprint race. NTO's in the front, win the mediums. D-Dubs is in second. Matthews in third. Obi-Wan's in fourth. Jez is in fifth. There's the top five, all on the medium tyres as we launch away. Astro's in sixth on the hards. Yuri, Rocket, Kanata, and Tommy, who won the sprint race, are all on the hard tyres. Everyone coming into turn one, turn two, as Radiate comes storming in from the outside, charges around the outside of Danger Mouse. Very good braking point into the first corner as we go through the very tight chicane left-right. Everyone makes it through alive, which is better than what Tier 3 did from memory, as a few people did die here. Juicer goes up the inside of Zab. Zab struggling to get that Lexus fired up as he's on the hard tyres too. Let's go further forward. Yuri putting Rocket under pressure as we come into the hairpin for the first time. Jez is down in P6 at the moment and hasn't got the best of starts, but it is a long way to go, and this is a long lap. Come through the Schumacher S's for the first time, as in the background we got Radiates defending from Danger on the outside at the moment as we come up over the hill. Can he get the drive going up and over the hill? He's going to try and stick his nose up on the inside. Radiate gives him the space, but Radiate keeps the position. It's further in the background. Tom tries to make a good start, tries to go around the outside of Juice. It doesn't work. This allows Zab to get back up on the inside. We're going to go back further forward as NTO leads us. Out of the GP section into the Nurburgring section as we go past the point of where I got to last time. Let's come a bit further back. I'm going to try not to skip around too much. If this is what we get all the time, as Tommy's got himself a half-second penalty. Already getting past Kanata. Kanata now down to 10th. The two teammates in the Mercedes are now together. Let's go forward a couple of cars. So this is where accidents can potentially occur. Now, smooth lines done by Jezza. We're going to go a bit further forward. Matthew, Obi-Wan and D-Dubs all close together as we come up over the very, very fast crest of the hill into the right. You've really got to commit through here. NTO has disappeared. He's doing a Tommy at the moment as he's disappeared out into the distance. D-Dubs under pressure from fucking wrong button. Again, Obi-Wan sweeps around the outside, lights up the Jag's tyres, lights up the Jag as we come into the braking point, nearly runs it a bit wide. D-Dubs down to third, Matthew in fourth. Astro in a bit of no man's land at the moment as we come charging down the hill. One of my favourite points of the circuit. Well, what we've just done is the favourite point of the track for me. Everything else I hate about this track. Don't know why, I just do not like this track. Oh, Matthew nearly spins his car out. So we're going to come back a little bit. Rocket's still in 7th in the other Ferrari. We've got 3 Ferraris on this grid today. Tommy's in 8th. He has got a half-second penalty, but he's going to be able to pull out a nice healthy gap to his teammate who's in 9th. These two have done a swap as... Oh no. Christmas has... Where is he? Christmas has come early. I know we're in February, but Christmas has come very early. Come on, game. Please keep up. Thank you. So, as our glorious leader comes into this very, very quick left, gets himself onto the grass in a very, very French fashion, smashes his car into the wall. So does Rocket. Rocket goes off the track as well. Our leader did lead, was in the lead, and now finds himself all the way down. As Gr3 finds himself in the wall, so our leader has gone from hero to zero in one corner. Yes, I did catch this. Our new leader, Obi-Wan, charges up, down and away. NTO's got his work cut out for him. And NTO's teammate D-Dubs can't even make anything of this. We've still got about 4.5 laps to go. D-Dubs now is under pressure from Matthew. He's struggling to keep up to the back of that Jaguar at the moment. Astro very, very late on the brakes, holds it out wide, gets the later apex, lights up the throttle, nearly loses it on the exit, but he's got a slightly better exit than Matthew just ahead of him. So he's able to put Matthew under pressure as we come charging up the hill. It's a single line through here. You probably could, if you had enough momentum, get through. I don't think he's gonna. He's short shifted up to 6, trying to fuel save a little bit. Now, how committed are we to this left-hander? It's a bit of a lift. And then back on the throttle. Everyone keeps it nice and tidy. The top 6 will get through. Hard on the brakes into this right-hander before the carousel. Jez is starting to catch up to the back of Astro. We then got Tommy just behind. Tommy electing to initially not use the carousel. Interesting, unless he's taken a slightly different line to try and help him and try and get the car hooked around a little bit better. We're going to come back to his teammate Yuri, who is a good couple of seconds behind. He's gone up a couple of positions due to a couple of drivers ahead of him crashing out. Radiate's in 8, so a great opening lap at the moment from Radiate, and missed a couple of passes that he's made, unfortunately. Kanata still in 9th, not really been able to extract much pace in this opening lap. It's a very hard track to pass. You might be trying to be a little bit patient and wait until the back straight. We then got Rocket in 10th. After making a slight mistake, he's recovered the best in that mistake. We then got Danger in 11th. The other Jaguar driver struggling a little bit. Zab's in 12th. Juicer's in 13th. NTO's in 14th. So he's made up a couple of positions already. M-Groove was on track in 15th, and now he decides to go off the track. And then Tom, having made a huge accident, I kind of want to go back and watch it, but I'm not going to because I don't want to waste too much of people's time. Tom's bringing up the rear in 16th with a lot of damage. We're going to go back to the front. We're definitely going to go back to the front. We're going to stay here with Matthew. D-Dubs goes off into the dust a little bit just before the second carousel. Who gets a good run? Astro gets a great run. First of the hard tyre runners as he sends it up the inside of Matthew. There's a little bit of contact, a little bit of a push. Astro backs out of it, doesn't capitalise, but this is going to bring in Jezza. Jezza's now in the slipstream. Tommy's in the slipstream too, but he has got a half-second penalty. He's become down to the penalty line. He's going to drop back off and not be passed by his teammate. We're going to go further forward. We're going to stay with Jezza here. As there goes the penalty line, there goes Tommy. Jezza has got an absolute monster toe on Astro, pulls to the right Astro defends the left. Matthew just ahead is going to try and get past D-Dubs. That's not going to work. Jezza swings back across, completely shuts Astro's chance of coming back off, as the two Ferraris now back together in third and fourth. Coming into the final two corners, there's a little bit of a bump here. Who gets a good run? Astro gets a good run and gets much better run over Jezza, and Astro's on the hards and Jezza's on the mediums. So all that work Jezza has done has now just been undone in one corner. But Jezza's still there. Astro comes across, defends the inside. Jezza doesn't really swing out to the outside, doesn't open the corner up. Nice and gentle on the throttle. Everyone comes out of turn 1 and turn 2 nicely. No accidents there. Just way down the road. Way down the road is Obi-Wan, still in the lead in the Jaguar. Both Ferraris go a little bit wide, losing a little bit of time. Astro's going to use this, try and escape a little bit from Jezza's, trying to close up to the front, or to the back of Matthew, excuse me. Jezza goes a little bit wide through the Schumacher S's. Let's go back to Tommy. Tommy, even with that half-second penalty, he's managed to catch up to the back of the top 5. Now, strategy here. I don't know how he did it, but Tap in Tier 3 managed to get the mediums to last 3 laps. Okay, he drove for about a third of the lap on completely dead tyres, but he managed to do it. I'm expecting a lot of the medium runners to come in at the end of this lap. The hard runners can definitely go one more lap. Tommy just reeling in that time. How are those mediums looking? They're not looking too bad, actually. Let's go a bit further forward. These aren't looking too bad either. Let's go and check the rest of the pack. Yuri's starting to close the gap a little bit. Kanata's now in 8th. Rocket's in 9th position. Danger's in 10th. Radiates down into 11th position. Zab's in 12th. Now being chased down by NTO, who is probably quite furious with himself, I should imagine, in 13th. Just about keeps the car on track through there. Juicer's in 14th in the Peugeot. I haven't driven that car for a long time now. M-Group slowly bringing up second to rear in the background. Maybe struggling a little bit this evening, and then we got Tom in 16th after having a bit of an accident earlier on. Let's go back to the front. So these guys are all still quite close together. Jezza slowly, closing up to the back of Astro. But Tommy's just behind it. Jezza too. Everyone taking slightly different lines. D-Dub's doing a great job at holding off the pack at the moment. He's slowly backing them all up into each other. Yuri could... Oh no. 9-minute lap for Tom. Yeah. I think something happened. Like I said, I'm not gonna... Oh, Matthew goes off. Must have been a fun lap. Yeah, it must have been. As Matthew goes off, he goes off in the same place as Rocket and NTO did the last lap. So he's now going to drop out. Yuri might even get him too. Matthew struggles to get that Ferrari to turn. Yuri's going to come in just behind. He's going to slot him behind as we go through what I call hit-miss-hit. Matthew got away with that. Only just front right suspension damage, so he's gone away with that a little bit. We're going to go a bit further forward. Tommy now putting Jezza under a lot of pressure. Astro's just ahead, but D-Dub's under a lot of pressure. He's now come up over the hill, up towards one of many back straights at this circuit. Both sort of taking very similar lines. Astro gets on the power a little bit earlier, uses a little bit more of the track. This might allow him to get a bit closer. And he's getting a lot closer. Is he going to try for a move or is he going to push? He is going to go for a move. He's going to go to the left-hand side. D-Dub's now forced out to the right. Astro now up into second position, but they're still both side by side. Astro goes through. He's going to take second position away from the McLaren driver as we come charging up the hill. Double left-hander coming up. Astro takes it a little bit quicker than D-Dubs. D-Dubs has to do a little bit more of a lift. This has now pushed him into the clutches of Jezza. Astro now's got clean air ahead of him. He's going to start trying to pull away, start trying to close in on Obi-Wan. We'll jump into Obi-Wan in a moment. Tommy taking a much different line than everybody else. He comes into the carousel quite late. Everyone else using the carousel early. Matthew still ahead of Yuri at the moment. Kanata in 8th, now chasing down Yuri. Dangers in 9th, Radiates in 10th. Zab's in 11th, NTO's in 12th. Rocket's down in 13th, so Rocket's not had a great lap at the moment either. We then got Juicer in 14th, Gr3 and Tom bringing up the rear in 15th and 16th. Let's go a bit further forward again. The Porsche seem very settled here as Yuri goes through. Matthew makes another mistake, so Kanata's now going to take 7th position away from Matthew. Matthew's really struggling at the moment this lap. Gone off twice this lap. He's nearly gone off a third time as he power slides his way out of what I call YouTube corner. He's close enough to Kanata though, for if Kanata makes a mistake, he's there. Yuri's going to try and pull away. Tommy's still just behind Jezza. Jezza now putting dropped up off the back of D-Dubs, excuse me. Astro's pulled away and made a healthy gap to D-Dubs, way out ahead is Obi-Wan, and like I said, I'm expecting him to come in. He could go on one more lap. I think it'd be unwise for him to go on one more lap. I think it'd be much more wise for him to come in, put the hards on and try and get going. Jessa struggles to get out of the second carousel. Tommy's got a much better run, tries to look to the outside, can't make it happen. Jessa comes back onto the racing line, goes tight. D-Dubs just looks like he lifts and let him straight through, which is a bit of an odd tactic, but it could work for him, as he might be able to sit in the slipstream and potentially gain a lot of time and fuel by doing so. Tommy pushing the back of Jezza. These guys are bump drafting each other. They've got to be careful because they might end up dropping D-Dubs. D-Dubs' plan of letting him through and being pulled along might not work. Now the pushing stop. Now the fight starts as Jezza lets off the throttle. Through goes Tommy. I'm not sure whether Jezza just let Tommy through or not. Obi-Wan does come in. Jezza's going to go on. Jezza has got good tyres for it though. So who else comes in? D-Dubs carries on. Kanata carries on. Matthew carries on. Oh, that might be a 3-second penalty there, danger. NTO comes in too. NTO, nothing to lose, everything to gain. I think Danger's going to get himself a 3-second penalty for cutting that line. I'm expecting... Oh dear. Gr3's not had a good final part of the lap either. I'm expecting most of these guys to keep going. Let's carry on to the front. Tommy's been released. Tommy's now going to go hunting down Astro for that first position. Jez is in third, a very good spot for Jezza. D-Dubs is in fourth. Both of these two on medium tyres. Oh dear. Oh dear. Astro just set the fastest lap of the race. Ah, drop. Oh no. Yep. There's not much that I miss, especially when it comes to crashes. Very well done on the rejoin. Stayed out the way until they top 5 or 6 passed. So fair play and well done. Astro, who just previously set the fastest lap and was in first position, finds himself now down in 7th after spinning out. Here comes Radiate. Radiate, I'm going to finally give you an overtake that you can actually watch on stream. Gets through on Astro with the overspeed. Astro struggling a little bit on his dirty tyres and their hard tyres too. What can Zab do? Can Zab get close enough? Or is Zab struggling to get that Lexus to turn? Goes off and follows Astro off onto the gravel on the left hand side. Astro's going to pull away. Zab unlucky and unable to get that Lexus just to bite and hook around the corner. As Radiate decides to go rally crossing, it's the wrong type of car to go into a rally. It's the wrong type of track to go into a rally. Wouldn't recommend it. Radiate back down to 8th position. Astro back up into 7th. Here comes Zab though. Zab's got a good run as we come down the hill into the first part of the Nurburgring section. Has to back out of it as it's a 1-car line through this section. Radiate on the brakes and trail braking a lot through here. Maybe not quite as confident through here as some other drivers. Radiate gets a much better exit than Zab. Zab now down into P9 at the moment. Let's go a bit further forward. Yuri in 6th position. Bit of a lonely 6th position. A little bit further down the road is Matthew, who's closed up on the back of Kanata. He's got to be a little bit careful that his tyres do not die halfway over this lap. He's got to make sure he makes them survive. Kanata in 4th position. His tyres are about 25% better than Matthew, so Kanata can afford to push and get a bit feisty and fighty. Get a bit further ahead. Jezza doing, oh no, D-Dubs, excuse me, on the mediums. And the same has got exactly the same tyre wear as Jezza, who's in 2nd, so these guys are going to try and make sure that their tyres make the distance. Tommy pushing on and pushing hard in that Mercedes. It's doing him really well so far. Even though technically we're still officially on the 2nd round, but we're going to gloss over that for a moment. What's happened here? I spotted that. Come on, game. Thank you. Oh no, he just goes very wide. Nearly goes into the back of Juicer as well. Off goes Tommy. Or Tom, excuse me. Does a very fair play and well done on the rejoin as well. So, well done, Tom. Once you get there, a very, very sensible, good rejoin. Very well. And I'm not being sarcastic either. Well done. Gr3 in 15th. NTO on the hards after having done his 1 stop. He's going to go up into 14th. Potentially going to look at undercutting a few cars ahead of him. Danger's in 13th. On the hards too. Juice is still going. He's due to stop this lap. Obi-Wan's in 11th on the hard tyres. Rocket struggling to find the barriers and the track limits of this circuit's in 10th position at the moment. Zab's just dropped off the back of Radiate, who's in 9th. Radiate's in 8th, struggling to get that Nissan under control as we come up over the hill. Astro's in 7th after finding the barrier for a 2nd time this lap due to the damage on his car. Yuri's in 6th. As the clouds overhead are starting to become a bit overcast. Now, we had this situation in my race in Tier 3. We didn't have rain. I haven't heard words of rain, but there could be a chance of words of rain, as Kanata's now all over the back of D-Dubs. D-Dubs' tyres are not looking that great. He's going to start struggling a little bit here. He's doing a fantastic job of holding out Kanata at the moment. Now, for those medium runners who have done 3 laps on the mediums, I'm potentially expecting them to do what Tap did in Tier 3, which is try and go onto the softs. Softs typically last around here 1 lap. I'm not expecting them to do 2, although they probably don't have a choice by now. Unless they do 2 on the hards, which is easily doable. It's probably not that advisable. This D-Dubs goes a little bit wide. This will allow Kanata to close that gap just a little bit more. D-Dubs sitting on the line though, doing an absolute wonderful job, just holding up Kanata, just sitting on the racing line, not giving Kanata any sort of space or room to make a move. This is now pushing Matthew into the picture as well. Matthew's tyres are not looking healthy. They're looking about similar to D-Dubs'. Jazz's are looking okay and Tommy's are looking good too. Oh, there's nearly contact. That was very close to contact. Matthew, great reaction, slams on the brakes, doesn't go into the back of Kanata, makes him lose a little bit of time. Very fast and tricky section as we come downhill. It's a blind left-hander. You're completely flat through the entire section. Kanata trying his absolute best to find a little gap in D-Dubs' defence, but I don't think he's going to find one as there's a little bit of contact. Not much and not enough and not much to be anything sort of gained from it as we come up to the second carousel. This is where D-Dubs is going to struggle to defend now. As we come out of this corner, Kanata's got a much better run. Kanata's, I think, is just going to wait until we hit the back straight. D-Dubs is trying his best to back up Kanata so Matthew can catch up. Matthew's struggling to get this car hooked up and onto the back as he nearly goes off the track. He very, very nearly does go off the track. Now we're on the back straight. This is where Kanata's going to make his move. D-Dubs sits on the left-hand side of the circuit. Kanata gives D-Dubs a push as we now come up the hill. Now out, Kanata pulls out of the slipstream as we go under the bridge, round the left. I think D-Dubs just backs out of it, which is a wise thing to do as his tyres are not looking too great at the moment. Kanata's aren't looking that much better. Can everyone get their cars stopped? Tommy comes in and I'm expecting everybody in apart from Obi-Wan. Oh yeah, I was going to check that. Already it gets a little bit squiggly. This allows Zab to catch right up to the back of him as we've got different fuel levels on the entries. Now where does Obi-Wan come out? Somehow Danger did not get a 3-second penalty for cutting through the cones. That I'm really surprised at. Has Obi-Wan's overcut worked? It has, and it's worked wonderfully. There's Tommy. There goes Obi-Wan. So Obi-Wan has got himself a very, very healthy gap. But Tommy comes out on the mediums with 2 to go. Obi-Wan's on the hards. So this is going to be interesting. Jez has come out on the hards. Matthew's come out on the soft. So both Ferrari drivers doing a slightly different strategy as off goes Tommy. Let's go back and have a little look at that, shall we? So he comes into turn 1, cold, fresh tyres.
Pedal problems, rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing.
Yeah, no shit, you have pedal problems. Oh, and the auto drive kills you. So Tommy's pedal problems yet again fail him. So there goes Tommy's teammate Yuri. So let's carry on. So Jezza pulls to the right. I think he's just going to allow his teammate straight through. Let's have a look at his throttle input. Yeah, he is. He's just going to let his teammate straight through. He's not going to bicker and fight with his teammate. His teammate's on the softs, which is the much faster tyre, but they'll only last effectively for one lap. So this is Matthew's best shot at getting up to the back of Obi-Wan and potentially trying to slow him up into the back of Jez's hands. Kanata's on the mediums in 5th. D-Dubs is on the hards in 5th, excuse me. Kanata's in 4th. Yuri's in 6th on the mediums. Astro's in 7th on the mediums. Zab's in 8th on the mediums. Danger Mouse is in 9th on the hards as he's now battling. Yeah, he did get told to move over. Oh no, you did get told to move over. And Tommy now having a battle with NTO as they're going side by side onto the back straight of the GP circuit. Danger Mouse has got a half-second penalty. Tommy's trying his best to get back alongside, but NTO's in the slipstream of danger. This is going to pull him a bit further forward. Now NTO, bear in mind, he was the leader of this race for about half the lap as NTO sends it up the inside. There's a little bit of contact on the apex of the corner. Danger now down to 10th position. NTO's tyres are nice and warm. He knows how they're going to respond. He knows how they're going to act now. Danger, even with a half-second penalty, does not want to give up 9th position too easily as there's another little bit of contact between Danger and Tommy. Tommy on the softer compound tyre between the two of them wants to now get past. NTO goes off a little bit wide. This is going to allow these two to catch right back up. Tommy sends it up the inside. There's a little bit of contact again between these two. Through goes Tommy, down goes Danger. Danger's not having the best of races at the moment in that Jaguar. Who's brave going through this corner? The top two are. Tommy goes off. Is he going to hold it? He is going to hold it. He stays flat as well. Fair play. Pedal problems are not clearly a thing in your world, and he gets a half-second penalty for cutting the corner and track limits. Let's go back a bit further. Radiate in 12th. On his own a little bit. Rockets in 13th, and then 7 centuries behind him is Juicer in 14th on the softs. So I'm expecting that gap to come down a little bit. M-Groot's on the mediums in 15th, still going, and then Tommy's doing is doing Tom things in 16th. Let's see how big Obi-Wan's lead is. Let's see how well the Jedi Mind Tricks is working for him. The lead is still good, but Matthew is on the softs, and he is
upset after my do think it reflected in my driving after low.
I can imagine you being a bit upset, and it would definitely reflect. Matthew is in hunt mode at the moment. He's got those softs on. He is dialed in with that Ferrari. He's got to be a little bit careful. He's got to make sure these tyres can last to 2 laps though. Otherwise, he may as well have done what his teammate did. There he is going on to the hards. Kanata now up into P3. He's in chase down mode 2. D-Dubs is in 5th position on the hards. Just behind him is Yuri on the medium, so Yuri could be in a position to get a top 5 out of this. Astro just behind in 7th with a half-second penalty. He's on the mediums too. Let's see how they do coming out of the right-hander as we now go up the hill. We're going to jump on board with Yuri because I'm not a big fan of the cinematic cameras sometimes. D-Dubs to the right, Yuri to the left. Can Yuri use the power of that mighty V8 to just drive past? He does use it, and he uses it very effectively and very well, as Yuri absolutely sends it into the left hand, that sends it a bit too hard, just a tad too hard, and he finds the barrier, goes off onto the grass, keeps the position. Or does he get a penalty? I don't think he's going to get a penalty. He's going to have dirty tyres. D-Dubs does not have dirty tyres on the other hand, so this could give D-Dubs a little bit of an advantage just behind his Astro. Yuri gets away with daylight. Well, what I was about to say was Yuri gets away with daylight murder, but clearly he doesn't get away with daylight murder. Right, so Yuri does Yuri things. We're going to carry on forward to something that's a bit more interesting. D-Dub's been passed by Astro going up the hill. Astro's got a great run coming out of the carousel unit. We're going to go back a little bit further ahead. That gap between Matthew and Obi-Wan has come down, but Matthew did not fuel. I just noticed that. So whether he forgot to fuel or whether he just went for a quick lap.
Rory gets away with.
Yep. That if you could describe a commentator's curse, that is the commentator's curse right there. Now I don't know whether Matthew forgot to fuel up or not. Matthew does not have enough fuel to get around for the next lap, I believe, looking at that fuel gauge. So unless he just did a tyre swap and then a splash and dash and a tyre swap, I don't know. Or did he mispress by mistake? Anyway, this basically promotes Kanata up to P2. This is going to give Obi-Wan a massive lead to Kanata, who's back here. You can't even see Obi-Wan as we come through the section. Jez is doing a great job at the moment in 4th position. Astro's in 5th. D-Dubs is in 6th. Zab's in 7th. Tommy's in 8th with his very unfortunate teammate Yuri just behind him in 9th. Yeah, you're not going to say you like me anymore and after that. Just behind is Radiate in 10th, with Rocket chasing him for 11th. NTO's fallen down to 12th position. So let's go a bit further forward. Astro serves his penalty. He's not really dropped off the back of Jezza as much as I thought he would, though. Kanata, a little bit closer to Matthew than I should imagine Matthew would like. His softs are pretty much done as well. He's got basically no fuel, so surely he has to come back in and pit. Yep. So Matthew comes into pit with 2% of his fuel tank left. This is going to send everyone else into shock for those who can see the leaderboard. Zab's in 7th position, a great recovery at the moment from Zab. So we're going to stay with the AMG boys, see where Matthew comes out in comparison to these guys. See how many positions he's lost. Fresh set of softs so we can just annihilate these softs this lap. Oh no! He cuts the line right at the end and he gets himself a 3-second penalty. NTO does not know where the track goes. He clearly needs to have a little bit more driving practice around this circuit. But Matthew comes out from P2 to P11 and a 3-second penalty added to his time. That's not going to do his day any good at all. This is going to allow a lot of people to catch up. Let's go back to near the rear of the pack. Juicer and M-Gru side by side as we come down the front, the main straight. Juicer just ahead as we come charging into turn 1. M-Gru, lifts off the throttle. Quite heavily lifts off the throttle. Slots in behind Juicer at the moment. As we go nice and steady, nice and careful through turn 1 and turn 2. Tom is just behind. So I'm just trying to read one of the stickers on the back of that car. So Tom's still going, still trying his absolute best to keep going. We're going to go back further forward though. There's Obi-Wan, there's Kanata. Obi-Wan's lead is still good, but is it going to be good enough? For the final lap of this race, Kanata can see P1, he can smell victory, as he's still got the rest of the lap to go, and he's got very healthy tyres for the rest of the lap. He can push this car very hard this lap. The other Porsche, Astro, P3, great run by him at the moment too, considering some of the missteps and some of the accidents that have happened. Jazza in P4 got a very good gap to D-Dubs, who's in 5th, who's now under pressure from Zab. Zab now has the inside line as we come over the little crest. Zab now up to P5. Great recovery drive so far from him at the moment. He's got plenty of tyre too to kill through. Committed to the double right-hander, but I believe it's by Flutes Plus. You can correct me if I am wrong. D-Dub's now in 6th position. Just behind him is Tommy, who's been having wheel and pedal problems the entire season. Still, I'm not even sure if he's managed to fix it yet. Just behind Tommy is Yuri in 8th, with Rocket in 9th, and then Radiate's bringing up the top 10 with a half-second penalty. Matthews in 11th, with new set of tyres, an actual fuel tank full of fuel this time, and a 3-second penalty. NTO's in 12th, nearly losing the rear of the car as well. And then Danger in 13th, and then we got M. Groot, Chusa, and Tom, who are just coming up to the section we've finished with these guys. Let's go a bit further forward. Let's try and find a little fight. I don't think we're going to find a fight. Hush my mouth, we are going to find a fight. That gap that Obi-Wan had has disappeared very quickly. We're going to stay here. Obi-Wan goes off wide, hits the barrier. Through goes Kanata. Doesn't really have to try too hard for that either. Obi-Wan's going to be furious with himself. Oh, Obi-Wan lights up the rear tyres as well. He's going to struggle to catch up to the back of that Porsche now. Worn out hard tyres. This is lap 3 for him on his hard tyres, whereas Kanata's on his second lap with his mediums, and they've still got plenty of juice left on them. The only thing that's going to give Obi-Wan the victory now is if he uses his Jedi mind tricks to try and get Kanata up into the wall. What's going on back here with these guys? Juicer drops off the back of... Juicer's still on the soft tyres, oh dear. That's only going to end one way, and that's disaster. I'm sensing disaster looming. We're going to stay here for just a couple of corners and see what happens. Right, I'm going to keep an eye on these guys. As for a moment we're floating and levitating in midair. Kanata leads and is extending that lead to Obi-Wan, who's in 2nd. Astro's in 3rd. Not sure if we're going to get a Porsche 1-2 today, but he's going to try his hardest. Jez is just behind in 4th position. Zab's behind him in 5th. D-Dubs has now got one of his eSports teammates just behind him in 6th and 7th. As Tommy looks like he's found the wall again. Oh, Tommy has found the wall and found his throttle pedal. It does work, and it works a little bit too effectively and efficiently. As we're coming up into the carousel unit, Rocket goes through after Tommy lights up those rear tyres a little bit too hard. So Tommy's momentum has now been absolutely squashed. He's going to have to try and rebuild that over the final few sections of this course. Yuri's still in 9th. Matthews in 10th, making up a position on Radiate, who's in 11th. Both who have have penalties, but Radiate's got a lot shorter and a lot less of a penalty than Matthew, who's just gone off into the grass. All Radiate's got to do is just stay behind Matthew through this section. He doesn't have to work too hard for it. We're going to go a bit further forward though, because these guys are all closing up together. Through what I call, like I said before, what I call YouTube corner. D-Dub's doing a fantastic job again, just as Rocket is not. Rocket has lit up the rear tyres on that Ferrari. He's let Tommy straight back through. It's a repeat mirror move of what Tommy did, as Rocket's struggling to get that car in a straight line. Tommy has now got a massive gap behind him. over the jump. Bit on the brakes. Yuri catching up, keeping the momentum up. This might allow him to get up to the back of Rocket. I'm not sure if it's going to, though. We'll have to wait and see. Let's go back a little bit further. Matthew has pulled out a very large gap to Radiate. He might just keep P10. NTO's way too far back and has found the wall as well. He's not having a great second part of this race. Danger's just behind as well, struggling a little bit. I said I'd keep an eye on the back of these guys. The fact that all I hear is tyre squealer is a great start. Come on, thank you. What happens to you? Oh, he just loses it all by himself. Oh no. Those dead softs are going to be a pain in the final few laps. But we've got Kanata on the back straight now, lighting up that timing page. He's probably going to come through for the final lap and set a new lap. Fastest lap of the race, excuse me, not lap record. These guys are all so far apart on this back straight. We're going to stay here though, just for a moment. These guys, it's on the final lap and it is fighting for position.
Took about 25 donuts to load that replay.
It did take 25 donuts to load up that replay, I can assure you, but we're going to go a bit further forward to Kanata, who has driven a phenomenal race. An absolutely phenomenal race in that Porsche. Started towards the back as he sets the fastest lap of the race too. Obi-Wan with a fantastic strategy, nearly made it work. He gets P2. Astro in P3, so we got a Porsche 1 and 3 who takes over his teammate's fastest lap as well. Jezza in P4 with a great strategy. The alternate strategy as well works really well for him. Zab's in 5th position. A great recovery from him. D-Dub stays in 6th. Tommy finishes in style. Doesn't finish in style, so his teammate Yuri gets 7th. Rocket's in 8th. Tommy, premature as always, gets 9th position. Matthew gets 10th position. Holds off Radiate, who's in 11th. The penalty's not really changing any positions. NTO with a race to forget in 12th position after leading for about a third of the first lap. Danger's in 13th. Comes over the line. We then got Gr3 and Tom in 14th and 15th. Close together, but not close enough for anything really to happen. Gr3 taking it carefully through this section. Doesn't want to push too hard. There's only a couple of corners left to go, and he's in 14th position. Out the final corner for the last time comes Gr3. Tom. What did I just witness? Huh? Huh? So Gr3 finishes in 14th. Whatever that was. Finishes in 15th with engine damage. I have got absolutely no idea what that was. We're going to stay with Juicer as we come over around the final corner. So we're going to get these standings up and have a little look through. Whilst Juicer, I believe, just drives on auto drive with nearly all 4 dead tyres. I'm not even sure if he's going to get time to finish. Right, we're going to take the mick out of a couple of our colleagues in just a moment. Let me get the standings up. Alright, so post-Stewart standings for this race. Kanata takes the championship lead by 5 points, overtaking Tom. who's in second. Obi-Wan's in third, 12 points behind P2. Zab's in fourth, and Astro's in fifth position at the moment. Excuse me. Porsche 911s lead the Constructors' Championship, the AMGs in second, and the Jaguars in third, chasing the AMGs by 8 points at the moment. Yeah, but Juice didn't even get to finish. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave. Red Bull Ring comms will be coming up in the next 5 minutes or so. I'm just going to get everything loaded up, go and grab a drink, and then I will see you guys in about 5 or 10 minutes time.